What's happening, guys? This is RRPG here, and I'm here to present another 2 cents video on the 2 cents block to you all. It's been quite a long while since I did one of these, and I figured that now is high time I came back because this news which came out today really has me feeling burned out and completely heartbroken. Want to know why I'm heartbroken? Well, I hate to tell this to all of you, but Scalebound has been canceled by Microsoft. Scalebound was one of Platinum Games' next titles they were working on, with Hideki Kamiya being at the forefront as the game's director. It was supposed to be his take on the action RPG genre by going into a fantasy setting with a boy named Drew from the modern era and having a sidekick dragon fighting alongside him. It was supposed to be Platinum Games' biggest and most ambitious title they have worked on yet, but now it has bit the dust after a Microsoft spokesperson came out and delivered this news to us all. Here's that official quote from Microsoft. After careful deliberation, Microsoft Studios has come to the decision to end production for Scalebound. We're working hard to deliver an amazing lineup of games to our fans this year, including Halo Wars 2, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves, and other great experiences. Not to mention, Microsoft was also asked if the Scalebound IP is owned by them or if Platinum Games still holds the rights, and they stated the usual jargon: "We do not comment on the details of our business agreements with partners," and they provided no additional comment when asked if Microsoft will seek to work with the famed developer on a separate project in the future. So yeah, this news just came out after I was watching some videos on YouTube and planning on getting back to work on my Final Fantasy retrospective, and the news of Scalebound's cancellation really broke my balls, because this was one of those games I was highly looking forward to for this year. After 2016 with Platinum Games' terrible performance at both TMNT Mutants and Manhattan in Star Fox Zero, I was looking forward to seeing them rise up from the mediocrity they were forced to deliver by giving us incredible games as compensation. However, one game on the PlayStation 4 and PC is releasing this year from Platinum Games, so they aren't going to have as many games on the dedicated gaming fronts as I had hoped for. Oh, and just so you know that the other game coming out from Platinum Games is Nier Automata, which Square Enix is publishing from around the world. With the cancellation of Scalebound on both the Xbox One and PC, I suppose that Microsoft had a realization and epiphany that either the development of the game was getting too ambitious for them to fully support, they had a falling out with the developer because of possible creative differences, or the need for more capital to fully ensure the game's vision, or that Japanese games do not sell well on the Xbox platforms, and their games aren't well received by the public through the Windows 10 store. If the latter is the definitive case, then it goes back to what I have been saying about the Xbox platforms all this time. Japanese games do not sell on the Xbox consoles because they are more in favor of Western games and the Western gamers in mind. There are people who own the Xbox platforms that want more Japanese support instead of just Western support, so it can be well established as an all-round brand, much like how Sony has been achieving that goal all this time. But those who own the Xbox platforms tend to go for more of the bro-dude shooters, FPS games, and online experiences instead of giving all other games and Japanese games a fair shake. Microsoft must have thought that Scalebound wasn't going to sell because they have more faith in those others like Halo Wars 2, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves, the next Gears of War and Forza games that are bound to come, and whatever they deem as favorable to their vision. Either that, or the sales and reviews of ReCore, which Keiji Inafune and Concept were a part of, did not do so hot that it forced Microsoft to rethink their business strategy for the Xbox One in 2017. It really breaks my heart how both Microsoft and Nintendo has one major flaw, where each of them can't get support from one end while they have the best on the other, while Sony and PCs are the only ones that have maintained that balance to this very day. It should be that all those platforms need to have equal balance and not just one or two, because that doesn't bode well for competition, but it is what it is, as the general public only stick with what they see as popular. Hideki Kamiya and the guys over at Platinum Games have not come out and said anything on this matter, but I imagine that they feel extremely burned by this as much as everyone who was looking forward to Scalebound this year. I read one report saying that Hideki Kamiya and some members of the development team for Scalebound have taken much time off because the development hell was so taxing on them that it caused mental health issues. This was pointed out on NeoGAF by a user close to Hideki Kamiya named Shinobi602, but I'm not sure how much of that is actually true since this came from a NeoGAF user, so take it with a grain of salt. However, it should be noted from sources close to Eurogamer that the relationship between both Microsoft and Platinum Games have soured greatly after the game's last appearance at Gamescom 2016, and that both teams have parted ways near the end of that year. Maybe Platinum Games was so upset with Microsoft for not being fully supportive of their development, or Microsoft wanted them to do things with the game that Platinum Games did not agree on. Either way, if this turns out to be true, then we could put the rumor of Hideki Kamiya and Platinum Games taking time off due to health concerns being nothing but a false statement. I'll put a link in the description if you all want to see. If this actually did turn out to be true, then it really even rips me apart even further, because this was one of the games I was looking forward to on either the Xbox One or Windows 10 platform when it released. But I now have no reason to pick up the Xbox One since Microsoft went back to square one in their business. So the number one question is, what do we see for Scalebound in the future? Is it fully canceled, or will it be picked up by another publisher? Personally, I believe that Hideki Kamiya does not want to see the game die in obscurity, as I'm sure he wants to see his next project be released. If you ask me, Platinum Games is probably going to ask either Nintendo or Sony to publish it for them if Scalebound is still under their belt. If Nintendo were to pick it up, I would see it working perfectly as a Nintendo Switch console exclusive, because the Switch can run games in Unreal Engine 4, which Scalebound was being developed with that engine. If Sony were to pick it up, then I wouldn't mind seeing it on the PlayStation 4 either. Until now, it is cancelled at this time until further notice, so just don't expect to play the game since Microsoft pulled the plug for the time being. If news of Scalebound being picked up by another publisher comes to light, I will report to you all on it. For the time being, let us pray and hope that the game does not die in obscurity, because that would be a huge low blow to all of us who are looking forward to this. Just don't expect Platinum Games to work on any more projects under Microsoft's help anytime soon. Anyway guys, leave me your 2 cents on Scalebound's cancellation, and let me know why you are sad or happy for its cancellation. Make sure you rate this video as well as leaving your feedback down in the comments. Also be sure to hit that subscribe button underneath this video, as more support from you guys will mean that more content is coming from me in the future that you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, this is RRPG signing off by saying Godspeed and game on, gamers. Have a good one.